Have you ever stood in your garden, looked at a flower, and felt something? Not just beauty, but a quiet hum, an invisible presence that makes you pause for a moment. Maybe it's the way the petals open to the morning light, or how the fragrance lingers in the air long after the wind has passed. In that stillness, you can almost sense it, a kind of language spoken not with words, but with energy. Welcome to the Mythroot channel, and today we're going to explore the unseen language of flowers. The mysterious way they shape the energy of our homes, our emotions, and even the unseen world around us. You see, in every culture, flowers have never been just decoration. They carry messages. In ancient China, flowers were believed to channel qi, life force, through their color and fragrance. In the Victorian era, people used bouquets to speak what words couldn't. A single rose, a white lily, a piece of jasmine. Each carried a meaning, a vibration. Modern science might call it aromatherapy or sensory influence. But long before the term existed, our ancestors already knew. Some flowers lift the soul, while others quiet it down, almost too much. And that's where the mystery begins, because not every flower brings light. Some flowers, though stunning to look at, can change the emotional frequency of your space. Their scent can blur the line between comfort and melancholy, between the living and the lingering. It's not superstition, it's vibration. The way scent, color, and symbolism interact with the energy field of a place. Over the centuries, people noticed patterns. Homes filled with certain flowers felt calm, alive, protected. Others, despite their beauty, felt heavy, as if the air itself was slower, denser. So in this journey, we'll look deeper. We'll uncover 5 flowers that are beautiful, yes, but may not always belong too close to your living space. We'll explore their symbolism, the science behind their energy, and how different cultures interpret them. Because understanding these flowers isn't about fear, it's about awareness. It's about creating harmony between your home, your emotions, and the natural world. And by the end of this video, you might just walk into your garden and see it differently. Not as a place of decoration, but as a living, breathing energy field that mirrors your own soul. Let's begin our journey into the hidden frequencies of nature. Let's listen to the unseen language of flowers. If there's one flower that seems to whisper serenity, it's jasmine. Soft, white, and delicate. The kind of bloom that perfumes the air with calm. Many people plant it right outside their window, believing its scent will bring peace, romance, and gentle dreams. But here's a truth that few talk about. Jasmine's peace is an illusion. You see, jasmine belongs to the family of night-blooming flowers. It releases its strongest fragrance after sunset, when the world turns quiet and the energy of a home begins to shift inward. And in that stillness, the scent of jasmine awakens something else: memory, longing, emotion. That's why in many Asian traditions, jasmine is both a flower of love and a flower of mourning. In India, brides wear jasmine in their hair, a symbol of purity and devotion. But in parts of Southeast Asia, the same white petals are offered at temples and funerals. 2 sides of the same soul, devotion and farewell. Spiritually, jasmine carries a moine frequency, soft, cooling, and emotional. It invites reflection, dreams, and inward energy. That's beautiful in moderation, but when this energy dominates, when we plant jasmine right next to the bedroom or front door, It can pull our vitality inward, making the home feel slower, heavier, and sometimes too quiet. Have you ever walked into a room filled with strong jasmine scent at night? It feels soothing at first, but stay long enough, and you may notice a subtle sadness, a kind of sweet melancholy in the air. That's the yin energy, comforting, but deep enough to blur the edges between peace and stillness. In Feng Shui, this imbalance can weaken the flow of qi. A house filled with too much yin, even from something as innocent as a flower, can feel lifeless over time. It's not that jasmine is bad, it's simply too introspective for spaces meant for living, laughter, or rest. So what can we do? Keep jasmine where its energy can breathe freely, out in the open garden, under sunlight. Let it grow near fences, walls, or corners that need softening. There, its fragrance becomes a gentle shield, drawing harmony without draining vitality. Because energy is about placement, not prohibition. When we understand a flower's true nature, we don't have to reject it, we just have to let it bloom where it belongs. Jasmine teaches us a subtle truth. Not every kind of peace is good for the soul. Some kinds of peace quiet us so much that we forget to live. And when that happens, what we thought was calm becomes silence. Let's move on to another flower whose beauty hides a deeper meaning, a bloom of farewell, fragrance, and memory. The hyacinth. When the sun goes down and the night wind begins to stir, something magical happens. The hyacinth wakes up. Its petals, curled tight all day, open slowly under the moonlight, and the air fills with a fragrance so tender it almost feels alive. Soft, deep, slightly sad. To most people, that scent feels romantic, even healing, like a gentle lullaby for the senses. But to the old masters of Feng Shui, hyacinth carries another story, a quieter, more mysterious one. They called it the flower of farewell. Because unlike other blossoms that greet the morning, hyacinth belongs to the night. Its energy awakens when darkness falls, when the boundary between the seen and unseen becomes thinner. In ancient folklore, its fragrance was said to help lost souls find peace or find their way home. That's why it was often planted near temples, rivers, and places of parting. In energetic terms, hyacinth vibrates with deep yin energy, calm, reflective, but heavy. It slows the qi around it, inviting stillness. That's beautiful in meditation spaces, where the mind needs quiet. But when placed too close to our homes, bedrooms, or front doors, places that should flow with life, its scent can quietly drain vitality. Have you ever noticed how a heavy fragrance can change the mood of a room? It feels cozy at first, then somehow too quiet, too nostalgic. That's hyacinth energy at work, a sweetness tinged with sorrow, like a memory that refuses to fade. In many cultures, people notice that homes surrounded by too many hyacinths often felt colder, emotionally heavier. Sleep became lighter, dreams more vivid, sometimes even unsettling. And yet this is not superstition, it's about frequency. In Feng Shui, fragrance isn't just a smell, it's a vibration. A scent that blooms only at night carries energy meant for the spirit, not for daily life. The ancients believed that when this vibration grows too strong, it opens a listening space, a frequency where the energy of the past can whisper through. Not ghosts, just echoes of memory. Echoes that can weigh on the living if not balanced with light. But balance is always possible. If you already have hyacinths in your garden, give them sunlight every morning. Light transforms yin into yang, awakening the brighter side of their nature. And if you want to keep the scent without its depth, use hyacinth essential oil. Gently diluted, it carries only the softest echo of the flower's spirit, not its full energy. There's also another choice, the gardenia. Gardenia blooms at night too, but its fragrance rises like light instead of sinking like mist. It purifies, lifts, and refreshes, turning the energy of a home from inward to outward. So perhaps that's the lesson hyacinth offers. Some goodbyes are not about loss. They are gentle invitations to let go, to make room for life again. Because in the language of flowers, hyacinth doesn't just say farewell, it whispers. Everything that leaves returns in another form. And when you understand that truth, the night no longer feels dark. It simply becomes another kind of light. Next, we'll explore a pair of flowers whose beauty burns with emotion, where love and loss, passion and peace collide. The red and white roses, the eternal dance of yin and yang. If there is one flower that has captured the human heart for centuries, it's the rose. Red for love, white for purity. Two symbols so timeless, they seem inseparable. And yet, when they bloom side by side, something unseen begins to stir. To the eye, it's beauty, passion, and innocence dancing together. But to the spirit, it can feel like a silent conflict. Because in Feng Shui, colors are not just decoration. They are frequencies of energy, each carrying its own intention, its own heartbeat. Red is yang, the flame of life. It pulses with emotion, movement, and strength. It warms the home, ignites the heart, and keeps energy alive. White, on the other hand, is yin, the stillness of reflection of the soul. It cools, calms, and cleanses the spirit. When these two powerful energies stand too close, their vibrations don't blend. They collide, and that clash can subtly disturb the energy of a space, making emotions unstable, dreams restless, and the atmosphere strangely uneven. In many Eastern traditions, the pairing of red and white roses has long been avoided in gardens or on altars. Red represents blood, love, and earthly passion. White represents the afterlife, purity, and spiritual release. When their scents intertwine, the ancients said, the door between two worlds opens slightly, not as a curse, but as an imbalance of frequencies. You might not see it, but you can feel it. A garden that once felt warm can suddenly seem cooler, quieter. A home once full of laughter might start to carry an unexplainable stillness. Even the air feels conflicted. But the lesson here isn't to fear the rose. It's to understand its power. Every color in nature holds energy, and when used with intention, it can heal, not harm. If red and white roses symbolize conflict, then Makik, pink, and Makinan, yellow manamay, roses represent harmony. Pink blends love with gentleness, the middle ground between passion and peace. Yellow carries the energy of sunlight, joy, and optimism. It uplifts the vibration of any space. So if your garden holds red and white roses together, don't rush to remove them. Instead, balance them. Let sunlight bathe them every morning. Light softens tension. Place rose quartz or Mamadi adult yellow agate beneath their roots, stones that radiate harmony and love. These subtle adjustments transform conflict into coexistence. In the West, ancient rituals once echoed this wisdom. On nights of the full moon, people would burn red and white rose petals together, a symbolic act of release. When the petals turned to ash, they believed the energy of separation transformed into light, love reborn as peace. That ritual, simple as it sounds, carries a truth that spans cultures. Even the most powerful forces can find balance when given light. Roses remind us that beauty and power always walk hand in hand. Love is never just warmth. It's also the courage to face what hurts. And sometimes, when we bring opposites together, passion and calm, life and memory, we discover that true harmony doesn't mean silence. It means learning how to let both sides sing. So let your garden be a song, not of conflict, but of connection. Let every petal teach you that balance is not found in sameness, but in the graceful dance between yin and yang. Next, we move to a flower that lives in that very balance, standing at the edge of light and shadow. The plumeria, known as the flower of two worlds. There's a flower that seems to bloom between breaths, delicate, sweet, and strangely timeless. The plumeria, or frangipani, doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't dazzle with color. Instead, it whispers in soft white petals, touched with gold, like sunlight melting into milk. In Hawaii, it's placed in the hair to show love. In India, it's offered at temples to honor the divine. And in Southeast Asia, it blooms quietly beside graves, not as a symbol of sorrow, but as a bridge between this world and the next. To many Western gardeners, the plumeria is simply tropical, a scent of paradise. But in spiritual traditions across the East, its energy carries a deeper vibration. Transition. It is said to guide the soul across thresholds, from night to dawn, from grief to grace, from endings to beginnings. That's why in Feng Shui, plumeria is called the flower of two worlds. It doesn't belong fully to yin or to yang. It lives in the balance, warm enough to awaken the heart, calm enough to soothe the spirit. Wherever it grows, the energy feels like an exhale, a soft release. But there's also a quiet warning in its beauty. Because the plumeria's scent grows strongest at night, when the world sleeps. It draws both the living and the unseen. Its fragrance is gentle, but its presence is powerful. Plant it too close to your doorway or bedroom, and you may invite energies that wander. Memories, emotions, dreams that don't quite rest. That doesn't mean the flower is cursed. It means it's sacred. It reminds us that not all beauty is meant to be contained. Some belong at the edge, near gates, ponds, or corners of the garden where the wind moves freely. There, its fragrance can drift between realms without disturbing the stillness of the home. In many Buddhist temples, monks plant plumeria not for decoration, but for meditation. They say, its scent teaches impermanence. Every bloom falls within a day, yet another opens. Endless cycles of life dissolving and returning. To sit beneath it is to remember that endings are only pauses in the song of existence. Perhaps that's why people who live near plumeria trees often speak of peace, not fear. They describe quiet mornings filled with golden light, evenings when the air smells like forgiveness. It's as if the tree absorbs pain and exhales acceptance. So if you have plumeria in your yard, treat it like a sacred guest. Give it space to breathe, sunlight, wind, and a little distance from the heart of your home. Let its presence remind you that energy never truly disappears. It transforms. And when life feels heavy, sit beside it, breathe in deeply, You'll feel how even sorrow carries sweetness, how even farewells can hold grace. In the language of Feng Shui, Plumeria teaches one simple truth. Harmony is not found by avoiding the unseen, but by learning to live gently with it. Some flowers speak with color, but the champaka, or michelia, speaks with scent. You don't see it first, you feel it. A sweetness that seems to rise from nowhere, floating through warm air like memory. In India, its petals are offered to Lord Vishnu and the goddess Lakshmi, symbols of love, prosperity, and spiritual devotion. In Bali, the champaka is woven into temple offerings, placed at doorways and shrines. And in ancient China, poets wrote that its fragrance could wake the spirit from forgetfulness. This is not an ordinary bloom. It's a flower of presence, the kind that reminds you of the sacred hidden in the everyday. In Feng Shui, champaka belongs to the element of wood, but it radiates the frequency of fire. It uplifts the qi of a space, cleansing heavy emotions, rekindling inspiration, and inviting joy to flow again. If your home feels dull, if your heart feels quiet, the champaka's energy can stir something awake, not loudly, but deeply. But like all sacred things, it carries a paradox. Because where there is spirit, there must also be humility. When planted too close to the home, especially near bedrooms, its strong fragrance can overwhelm the senses, creating restlessness instead of peace. It's the same with energy. Too much light can burn, just as too much shadow can dim. So the old masters taught, plant the champaka where the wind can teach it restraint. Let its fragrance drift through the air, not into your dreams. Placed at the edge of the garden or beside a meditation space, it creates a soft boundary, a meeting place between human breath and divine essence. There's a story told by monks in Myanmar. A young acolyte once asked his teacher, "Why do you keep a champaka tree by the temple gate and not inside the prayer hall?" The old monk smiled and said, "Because wisdom should greet the traveler, not overwhelm the seeker." That's what the champaka teaches, the art of gentle power. It doesn't demand attention, it invites awareness. Its beauty lies not in what it shows, but in what it awakens inside you. Modern researchers even discovered something poetic. Champaka oil contains compounds that lower anxiety and stabilize heart rhythm. Science finally caught up to what the ancients already knew, that fragrance can touch the soul before the mind even notices. If you sit beneath a blooming champaka at dusk, you'll understand. The world feels slower. The air hums softly as if carrying invisible prayers. You might not be religious, but something inside you bows, not to a god, but to the quiet miracle of being alive. That's the gift of this flower. It teaches that spirituality doesn't have to be solemn. It can smell like warmth, like joy, like the memory of sunlight on your skin. So plant it if you can, not for display, but for remembrance. Let its fragrance remind you to pause, to breathe, to listen, because the Spirit often speaks in whispers, not in words. A garden is never just soil, sunlight, and water. It's a mirror of the one who tends it. Every choice you make, from where you place a stone to which flower you plant, becomes part of a silent conversation between you and the earth. That's what it means to design it with spirit. Not to control nature, but to listen to it. In modern life, we often build gardens for beauty. Neat edges, bright colors, symmetry. But in spiritual design, perfection is not the goal. Harmony is. Harmony between yin and yang, between stillness and motion, between what pleases the eye and what soothes the soul. The first step is awareness. Before planting, pause. Walk the land barefoot if you can. Feel its rhythm, the warmth under your feet, the direction of the wind, the way light moves from morning to dusk. This is how you read the energy of the earth. Feng Shui calls it tuning into the dragon vein, sensing the living pulse that flows beneath the surface. Every space has its own story. A west-facing garden might crave cooling plants like bamboo or water lilies to soften the fire of the setting sun. A shaded corner might need bursts of bright qi, yellow chrysanthemums or marigolds to invite joy. Designing with spirit means noticing what the land is already trying to say and then answering gently. There's also intention. Each plant carries energy, a vibration that can support the emotions and aspirations of your home. Lavender brings calm, jasmine awakens love, chamomile invites healing and rest. When arranged with mindfulness, your garden becomes a living mandala, a pattern of energies that supports your life's journey. But mindfulness also means restraint. A garden overloaded with symbols, colors, or scents can confuse the qi, just like a cluttered mind loses focus. Leave room for breath. Leave room for light. In Feng Shui, emptiness is not absence, it's potential. The space between flowers is where peace grows. Think of your garden as a conversation, not a design project. You don't speak over it, you respond to it. Let it change with the seasons. Let fallen leaves become offerings, not mess. Let birds, butterflies, and even the soft decay of petals remind you that life is always transforming, and that's the most sacred design of all. And when you plant, plant with gratitude. Each seed is a promise, each bloom a blessing. The goal isn't to make something beautiful, it's to make something alive. That's what separates a mindful garden from an ornamental one. One is decoration, the other is devotion. Because when you create with spirit, your garden doesn't just reflect you, it heals you.